I know, I am a bit late with this video, but here we are. Severance. Came out 3 years ago with the same 3-year gap between the first and the newest season, second. The series that became for me the embodiment of Apple TV Plus, its quality and its budget. And I'll do my best to show you how it perfectly describes 9 to 5 jobs. I know that the new season isn't actually that new, but if you haven't seen it yet, no problem. Now go get something to eat. Directed by Ben Stiller, the same guy that gave us The Secret Life of Walter Mitty and Zoolander. Anti-utopia, where everything circles around a giant corporation called Lumen. Firstly, their mission seems legit. Help people balance their life and work. Doesn't it sound good? You come to your workplace, and the moment you enter an elevator, poof, you're already living it, like nothing happened. And I wanna talk about the whole building itself. This place reminds me of elementary school days, when we snuck into other classes and it was mysterious and scary, but fascinating at the same time. You often get muddled by the loop of Lumen's building and the show. So if at first it seemed legit, as you probably guessed it, nothing is legit at all. Because when Walker enters an elevator, his mind splits into a different version of him, Innie, and Outie, that's the guy outside if you haven't get it, you gets all the life's pleasures. One average day for Innie's Mark Scout, Irving Baileyleaf, and Dylan G, who I think is the funniest guy here on Mao.
My husband has had trouble keeping other jobs.
He dumb?
Becomes much more interesting. You see, their colleague and a friend was resigned and his place takes a new one, Haley R. Since then, everything goes sideways. I don't want to spoil it. In 1926, a man named Henry Ford introduced to the world a productive work scheme. 8 hours for work, 8 for rest, 8 for what we will, and 5-day work week. I'm sure you're well familiar with 9 to 5. Severance perfectly shows what corporate jobs are and their aesthetic. When Lumen splits your mind into half, so the 8 hours that you've spent at work aren't actually your work, it's Innie's, and you're a completely different person outside of it, at home, because life and job aren't the same thing. There are cons and pros of doing such things like splitting yourself into you and a newborn whose life's meaning is to work, and then work again. Would you do such thing? To literally yourself? We'll come back to it later. But now I would like to show you how Severance shows us the downside of jobs. The best way to keep a prisoner from escaping is to make sure he never knows he's in prison. Fyodor Dostoevsky. Innie should never understand that he's a prisoner. He gets coffee, a friendly collective, and even a promotion.
Mark S., at this time I confer upon you the freedom to serve here in the advanced role of Macrodata Refinement Department Chief.
But we understand that he's a prisoner, and all those sweets are an illusion. You wake up, go to work, get back home, you're probably tired, so you want to sleep you go sleep, you wake up, go to work, get back home, and then again? Sleep, wake up, work, tired, again. Your life becomes a Groundhog Day. As I said previously about Severance, for Innie's, life means only a job. They literally waste their lives working for someone. Same thing in real life. People do the same exact thing. They waste their 8 hours from 9 to 5 on labor. With what? Career opportunities? You're a slave of Lumen. They decide what you do and what to do with you. They lock you inside and throw away the key. They'll do anything so you could complete their real mission. Severance makes us feel bad for Mark Senior. Through his perspective, we can see a life of a person whose entire existence is about making the corporation succeed. They're like a cult. No, they are a cult. What cults usually have in common? Isolation, charismatic leader, and a total control. And Lumen basically have everything. So when we understood that Lumen, who was shown as the main antagonist, is a cult that has people spending their lives for them, I would like to ask you a question. Are you Ini? Or are you Outi? Or maybe it's about balance? We come to this world to live, and not to work. I'm not trying to be some guru here, but I think you gotta make money doing what you love. And if the thing you do isn't enjoyable, why would you do that? Why would you program yourself, manipulate your mind, force it into loving something you're actually not? There's this Japanese concept of ikigai, which is basically about finding the purpose of life. Applying this maybe wouldn't be for everybody, but it'd be much cooler than working for a corporation that forces you to learn their entire bloodline history. Hours spent on a job are not someone's, they are yours. You need to fully enjoy every minute you've spent, even on a job. That's why you shouldn't choose a hateful job. Is it okay to split your mind into a new you, in terms of morality? To give a life to someone, even if a newborn will suffer? It's like the same as creating a doppelganger and making him do all the boring stuff. It's really complicated question that is explored more in a philosophy called antinatalism, that says it's unethical or unjustifiable to have children, considering it to be a serious harm. But we need to understand, are Inis actually even humans? Because they're only a branch of already existed Outi, aren't they? There are different positions on it in the show. Are Inis supposed to live? Are they not? But throughout the whole journey, we're getting comprehension that Inis have their own feelings, their own character, and their own different mentality. Back to our main protagonists, massive company Lumen. There'll also be massive spoilers, so you can skip to this. Their whole secret mission was to make people emotionless. They were testing humans to disable their fears, removing emotions from life. I interpreted it that way, like if something bad gonna happen, there would always be another version of you that could take the punch and the pain with it, you know. I got lucky that I didn't watch Severance when first season came out, cause waiting this long for the next season is crazy, bruh. All that mystery that it gives you could compete with another Apple series, Silo. At first I thought it's just MK Ultra type thing, but as I showed you, it's trickier. In addition, I would like to tell you, jobs should not owe you. You are not a slave to work, you are free, and to prove it, you may comment, subscribe or like this video.